Chapter 6, Tough Love. Early the next morning, your mentorship with Phoenix begins. You meet in the firehouse gym. Nervous about the day to come, Phoenix gives you a nod and a slight smile. Morning. Ready to get started? It depends on what we're gonna do. Phoenix chuckles quietly, his eyes glinting in the fluorescent light. Relax, we're just gonna run a couple of drills. Phoenix clears a spot on the mats as he begins to limber up. You stand beside him, a safe distance away. We'll begin with a little stretching. Don't want you pulling any muscles in here. He stretches both arms over his head, his lithe muscles pushing the limits of the fabric of his clothes. Stay focused, Ridley. You're not allowed to give in to temptation, even if it doesn't hurt to look. But Phoenix quickly catches you staring. His stern expression is betrayed by the slight smirk. You'll want to follow along, Ridley. Sure, Chief. I'll be sure to watch closely. I'll be sure to take in all your muscles. So you can mimic my movements, right? Of course, this is strictly business, remember? His lips twitch in a smile and you watch, rapt, as he slowly stretches his biceps. I like that kind of dedication. You're shaking up to be my favorite mentee, Ridley. Given that I'm your only one, I don't know how honored I should feel. Compliments from me are few and far in between, savor it. You share a lingering smile, your gaze locked onto each other's, before Phoenix clips his throat. But don't let it distract you from your work. Now follow me. Phoenix goes in, another stretch, and this time you mirror him, limbering your own toned muscles. Good form, but you'll want to straighten out your back. Your pulse quickens as Phoenix comes up behind you, resting his hand on the small of your back. He applies gentle pressure, straightening your spine. You shiver when his other hand flattens on your abs. There, that feels more stable, doesn't it? How do I tell him I've never felt less stable in my life? Phoenix's fingertips brush over your abs through your shirt. Your core is strong. We might want to move on to weight training. Really tighten up those arms. Phoenix's hand slides from your stomach to your bicep, his fingertips sending hot trails along your skin. Ridley, have you ever done any weight training? Sure. I've been going to gym for years. That's good, but I've seen a lot of people go to the gym for years who still don't know proper form. Questioning my form when you haven't even seen it? You are a tough critic. You knew that about me when you first entered this arrangement. True, it just gives me extra incentive to prove you wrong. Phoenix smirks, a challenge glimmering in his gaze. That's exactly the kind of heat I was hoping for. Once again, as you lock eyes with him, but he shakes himself and guides you to the weight rack. He guides you through the rigorous strength training. True to your word, your form is flawless. You're slick with sweat and panting by the end of your training. Not bad. If you keep it up, you'll breeze through these drills in no time. He tosses you a towel and you dab at the sweat clinging to your muscles. So, when I signed up for mentorship, I wasn't expecting to get a personal trainer. Don't get me wrong, I know how important it is to be in shape for the job, but this is only our first day. It's important for me to understand your body's limits. His gaze travels down your body as he says that, sending prickles of heat across your skin. Now that I have a better idea, I can approach your mentorship head-on. We'll move on by attacking your weaker skills. You feel slightly deflated at that. Weaker skills? Let me guess. You want to work on my impulse control. I know you think I'm too quick to run into danger. And after our first night together, I wouldn't be surprised if you thought I was impulsive. If our first night together makes you impulsive, then I don't know what it says about me. What kind of lunatic saves someone's life and then asks them on a date? I seem to remember the date being my idea. Let's compromise and say great minds think alike. Smile at each other, drawn close, but he pulls back. The truth is, Ridley, you're already a hell of a firefighter. You just have one bad habit. Your complete lack of self-preservation instincts. Would we say it's a complete lack? He sighs, folding his arms over his chest as he appraises you. From where I'm standing, it doesn't seem like you give a damn about your own safety. That's a big problem. I mean, let's consider all you've done in your short time here. You ran into a burning building on your first day. Let's not forget. A shadow passes over his face. You've dove in front of a fireball to save me. You could have sacrificed your own life for mine. True, but it would have been worth it. His eyes widen and his brows furrow deeper. Don't ever say that my life is more valuable than yours. Ridley, we firefighters may risk our lives to save others, but our lives are just as important as anyone else's. You can't save anyone if you're dead. Don't ever forget that, and don't take unnecessary risks. Okay, Chief. I'll do my best. Phoenix studied your expression for a moment. He sighs, passing a hand over his face. The job is dangerous. We face countless hazards every day. And now we have an arsonist to contend with. Do you know what the most dangerous thing on the planet is? It's people. Human beings have the capacity to do incredible harm. That's a cynical perspective. I think humans do a lot more good than harm. We'll agree to disagree. That's a nice way of looking at the world, but it won't protect you if you ever get in danger. We don't know what the arsonist's motives are. There's a chance they could come after you. You mean us, right? Phoenix looks flustered, caught in a moment of prioritizing your safety over the squad's. Right, us. The point I'm trying to make is you have to be prepared for the worst. Part of being prepared is being ready to protect yourself as well as others, in fact. He rubs at his chin thoughtfully and then smiles. What do you say we get some on the self-defense training? You really think I need it? I do. And when it would put my mind at ease knowing you're safer. Alright, first question. What's the first option in self-defense? Kick them in the groin? No. You should de-escalate, or get out of the situation altogether. Self-defense should be thought of as a last resort. Gotta de-escalate, get away. If I can't, then kick him in the groin. Why do I even bother? He smiles as he directs you to the center of the mat. We'll start with a basic stance. Let's assume you're cornered in an alley, or an escape, or de-escalation isn't an option. Phoenix stands with his feet shoulder-width apart and hands at his side. Try to attack me. Sorry, did you say you want me to hit you? His cocky smile makes your stomach do a somersault. I said I'd like to see you try. Bolstered by his light taunting, you assume a fight stance and look for an opening. Punch to the nose, a running tackle. Never do running tackle, even on the offense or defense. Projecting your best boxing stance, you hop on your toes, jabbing at Phoenix's nose, but he quickly steps forward, raising his hands, easily blocking your punch, and your momentum sends you floundering to the mat. Whoa. Before you can hit the ground, Phoenix's steady hand catches you by the small of your back. Careful. He helps you steady yourself, his touch lingering, then he withdraws his hands and folds his arms. That's what's called a ready stance. I step forward into your space, raise my arm so you had no good place to strike. I see now why you emphasize the try to hit me. You'll get the hang of it. Stand on the balls of your feet, keep them shoulder-width apart, and your hands down. You obey his instructions, feeling yourself grow warm. Studies your form closely. And notice how sturdy your base is. Your balance is evenly split. Now, if I show signs that I will attack, he raises an arm over his head, steps towards you. You step forward with your left leg, planting it firmly. Raise both hands, palms open, like I did. Again, you follow the chief's instructions, and he rewards you with a smile. Good. You've got all your sensitive areas blocked. I can't access them. For what it's worth, you can access all of me. He smirks and shoots past your guard, tackling you. You struggle against his grip, but he's got you pinned, and he's pressed very close. Still want me to have access? Even more so than before, if that's possible. You're completely impossible. I'd say incorrigible. Phoenix helps you back to your feet and resumes his stance. Okay, now that you've gotten the stance down, let's get to some attacks. Good call. I can't exactly use my special move on you. I appreciate your hesitation to kick me in the groin. He smiles, positions you back in your ready stance, his hands freely roaming over your muscles. The more time you spend together, the more comfortable he seems to be with touching you. This could get dangerous very quickly. The first rule of attacks is that you want to go for their most vulnerable areas. You want to aim for their eyes, nose, throat, or groin. You're like a dog with a bone, but technically kick them in the groin isn't a bad strategy. Chief, I told you I know my stuff. I never said you didn't. I just want to make sure that you know all your options. Fair enough, but I've always said if it ain't broken, don't fix it. Interesting application of that saying, but you're not wrong. First, I'll show you a palm heel strike. It's your best bet when you're in close and you can get your opponent's face or throat. From your position, I want you to rotate your hips and explosively extend your left palm, aiming for my throat. To guide you, his hands rest on your hips, pivoting them slightly. The closeness of your bodies makes you dizzy. Focus, Ridley. Now's not the time to be tempted by him. He stands back and allows you to give it your best shot. You push your left palm in his throat as fast as you can, stopping just short. Not bad, but you need to rotate your hips a little more. Can I get another demonstration? He raises an eyebrow, then moves behind you again, gripping your hips more firmly. You suppress a gasp at the tightness of his grip. Gently, he rotates your hips slowly and rhythmically. Do you see how I want you to move? Your throat feels dry, but you manage to murmur a response. I think I'm starting to understand. Follow his hand's guidance. Let your Phoenix's hands guide the movement of your hips, shifting them slightly left and right. Perfect. You want to keep your stance open or you'll risk locking up. I'll be honest, I didn't realize there was so much to self-defense. Something as simple as my hips position can make a big difference, huh? These little things add up. With practice, you won't even notice all the small steps you're taking. You seem to have a lot of faith in my ability to pick this up. You're a quick study. I wouldn't have chosen to mentor you otherwise. Point taken. Phoenix stays close behind you, so close you swear you can feel the thunder of his heartbeat against your back. He isn't pulling away. Does he want to give in to this moment as much as I do? Testing the water slightly, you place your hand over his, and his fingers twitch, but he doesn't pull back. What are you doing, Ridley? Just trying something. Your own pulse races as you grip his hand. You could seize the opportunity for a brief moment of passion. Pull his hands away, or kiss him. Pull his hands away. We're in the firehouse. You gently take his hands and remove them from your hips, stepping away to put some distance between you. You need to keep this professional. Phoenix's job, hell, the whole squad could be on the line. As if he read your mind, he takes his own step back, looking sheepish. Anyway, I think you've gotten the basics down. That should be good for now. Thank you, Chief. It means a lot that you take the time to teach me these things. No need to thank me. We're part of a team, remember? I'm just doing my part to make sure you're safe. You hold his gaze for a long moment, searching for something unsaid, and then... We should get back to work. I think I can hear the next shift coming in. Are you sure we might have time to train a little more? I appreciate your eagerness, Ridley, but, time and place. Exactly. Besides, you already made a lot of progress for one day. It's easy when you have such a great teacher. You and Phoenix head into the kitchen to find your squad, chatting with an unexpected guest. Commissioner, I didn't know we were expecting you. You weren't. I'm entitled to the unscheduled visit every now and then. Especially when it's my favorite squad and favorite son. Your only son. Potato, potato. Well, it's always a pleasure to have you here, Commissioner. Of course. I just wonder... why we're your favorite? Obviously, because you keep me out of trouble. Please, that's only half of it. If you want to know the truth, I could never resist an underdog story. And Engine 57 is the epitome of the underdog. Plus, you've got some of the brightest stars Boston's ever seen working for your force. She sits gesturing for you to follow. Her gaze follows you, then Phoenix as you sit opposite ends of the table. You two look like you worked up a sweat. Early morning workout. I'm mentoring Ridley on some physical skills. You feel Liang's gaze on you and pointedly avoid looking at him. The commissioner, meanwhile, looks thrilled. Glad to hear it. I love when a battalion chief is invested in their probe's development. Oh, he's invested, alright. Luckily, the commissioner doesn't know how much. Not that I mind the small talk, Commissioner, but what exactly did you come here to tell us? I have good news. That music festival you were hell-bent on canceling, the mayor made the call. They're postponing it. It's such a relief, but I'm surprised it happened so fast. To be honest, Ridley, I think your argument in my office was the deciding factor. After you left, the mayor said he, quote, admired your pluck and resolve. You really impressed him. You smile, feeling bolstered by the commissioner's praise and the proud expression Phoenix is wearing. We're getting some flack for the loss of revenue that postponing the festival will cause, but this is a win. You should celebrate it. Thanks, Commissioner. But we can't let our guards down. The arsonist isn't going to rest, and neither can we. True. We've mitigated one potential disaster, but the arsonist will find a new target. Hopefully we can predict where he'll strike before it's too late. You'll leave the predicting to me and the BPD. All you need to worry about is putting out fires. The commissioner rises to her feet, but fixes Phoenix with a praising look before she goes. Chief, you've done a lot to improve the squad's performance. I'm impressed. I can't take all the credit. This probe you saddled me with has been a hell of a squeaky wheel. She lit a fire under my ass to be a better battalion chief. I'm just glad all my squeakiness has produced results. You and me both. There's still a long road ahead, but I'm proud of the squad. Commissioner, we'll get it done together. It's not just Chief Phoenix, who's responsible for the squad. Damn right. We all do what we can. Keep things moving forward. No matter what, we won't let the squad go up in flames. Squad smiles confidently among themselves. Even Liang looks slightly inspired. Good. Feels like we're all on the same page here. Liang has been suspiciously quiet. The commissioner eyes him as if waiting for him to contribute. Phoenix's successes and failures on my business. Made that very clear when... Liang, not now. Phoenix and Liang share a fierce look. You should shift a little in your seat, feeling anxious. Is Liang seriously gonna blow our cover with the commissioner? If you've got something to say, Liang, then I'd like to hear it. Liang's eyes flicker towards you, holding your stare for a moment, and then nothing except how impressed I am with Ridley's development. She might just be exactly what the squad needs to inspire leadership. Glance between Phoenix and Liang, your pulse thudding as you consider Liang's meaning. With an awkward cough, the commissioner strengthens her clothes and starts towards the door. I'll leave you to it then, but keep in mind what I said. I want this squad to succeed. After she's gone, you turn on Liang. Liang, what the hell is your problem with the chief? He's been putting in work trying to keep the squad running. Funny, I thought you were the one doing all that. So what if Ridley has been a motivator in all this? Dude, you're just pissed she's jeopardizing your shot at taking over. Hate to say it, Stefan, but Declan has a point. Is your goal here to sabotage the chief? Please. As if any of you wouldn't do the same thing in my position. I'm qualified for the role, and I sure as hell wouldn't let you all walk all over me. We don't walk all over Chief Phoenix. Enough. All fall silent, looking to the chief. He rises to his feet with a scowl. I don't need you all to come to my defense. If I'm lacking in some ways as a chief, it's on me to fix it. His icy gaze slips to Liang, who stares coolly back. As for Liang's problem with me, that's between us, and it'll stay that way. With that, Liang stands up and stalks out of the room, leaving only awkward silence in his wake. Later that day, Phoenix calls an impromptu meeting in the common room. I've been thinking a lot about the commissioner's visit. Like she said, the squad could use some improvements. I can think of a few easy ones off the top of my head. Phoenix ignores him, but you see the muscles of his jaw clench. First off, let me quickly address the arsonist situation. I know the bastard's still out there, but I'm confident they'll be brought to justice. Proud of the work this team has done. Hell, without Luxus research, we might not have figured out his game. I could get used to hearing how awesome I am. And Ridley did a fantastic job presenting our case to the mayor and commissioner, not to mention all the heavy lifting she's done trying to unite the squad. Honestly, I'm loving the challenge. You're all great, but I never had to mediate so many disagreements in my life. Oh, sounds to me like Ridley saying we're problem children. I mean, is she wrong, though? Problem children or not, I've really enjoyed working with you. Oh, likewise. I'm sure if we put our heads together, we'll find a way to bring the squad together. That brings me to the purpose of the meeting, addressing the adjustment of engines 57 and 59. I know the merger hasn't been easy, that's putting it lightly. But, while it's been difficult, we're moving on the right direction. Yeah, there aren't nearly as many fights as when the merger first happened. I want to thank all of you for making an effort, but I also want to give you a chance to give me some input. I want to know how you think we can improve. Oh man, where to start? I think we should go off-site for training courses. No way. Where would we even get the funds for that? Man, I need to invest my free time in hanging out with my kids. What if we set aside some budget for fun stuff? Team bonding trips, stuff like that. Entire squads start speaking with each other and over one another. Phoenix shoots a bewildered look your way. I'm supposed to be helping Phoenix with the squad. This is a good opportunity. Great ideas, everyone, but I can't hear myself think. I know you're all eager to chime in, but try and go one at a time. I can't address your concerns if I don't understand what's being said. So, let's all offer our suggestions one at a time, okay? And try to stay on the same page. Squad murmurs agreement. You catch Phoenix's eye and give him a reassuring nod. Well, I think there's one thing we all can agree on: the common room. Oh yeah, you need some serious TLC. Glance around the room, realizing for the first time how disordered it is, and how cold the surroundings are. This place has all warmth of a hospital ward. I beg to differ. Even Edenbrook is homier than this place. It would be nice for us to have somewhere cozy to relax. We spend half of our lives here, after all. Even the dog and cat agree. Or all of our lives in the case of our certain furry friends. As the squad commiserates over the common room woes, the cogs start turning in your mind. Giving the common room a makeover could be an easy way to boost morale. Diamond choice! If we want a cozier common room, we should give it a facelift ourselves. I love that idea. We can make it like a real family room. Anything to make it suck less in here. The squad gets to work right away, sprucing up the common room. Amelia and Declan start planning decor. Some color might make this place look really inviting. Would definitely be an improvement. Lux and Liang get to work finding fun activities. I could bring in some of my old consoles to hook up to the TV. There's no way the chief will go for that. And Harold busies himself making space more comfortable. The chairs at the table are rigid plastic. No one's to sit for very long. Phoenix settles up next to you, smile playing about his lips. Seems like a popular suggestion, Ridley. You gonna help out? You give the room a once-over, wondering what to do first. Some comfort, decorations, fun. Comfort, that's first and foremost. Like he said, you're spending half your life there. Harold's scrolling through his phone, idly bending down to scratch the smoky behind the ears every now and then. Ash sits perched on his shoulder, purring contentedly. He's literally me. You're quite the animal whisperer, Harold. Always have been. I've been told I have a knack for making animals feel at home. Honestly, Harold, that is a great skill. Having a way with animals means you're a compassionate person. That's rare. But even pets wouldn't be at peace in this room. It's not comfortable at all. Shows you his phone where he searched how to make a room more cozy. Well, first and foremost, we'll be getting rid of the plastic chairs. Short of buying a bunch of new furniture, I'm not really sure where to start. You take a look around the room, strategizing some potential improvements. I don't think we need to throw out all of our furniture. Honestly, some cushions would go a long way. We'd be more comfortable. Pillows would double as cozy bed or pet beds. Hey, it's not a bad idea. I'll see what I can pull together. Harold sets off in search of cushions, and you return to surveying the room. Some fun. You find Lux and Liang apparently arguing over the definition of the word fun. What are you even talking about? Everyone likes video games. This may shock to you, but some of us played outside growing up. And I think Lux is suggesting we find something relaxing to do in the common room. I wasn't, but that's a good point. I'm not exactly relaxed when I'm playing an FPS. If we want something fun that'll calm us down, what should we do? Puzzles? They both of them, Liang and shudder at the thought. Okay, so puzzles are out of the question, but what about board games? I don't know about you, but I've definitely gotten into a fight or two over a board game. Hell, there was this hilarious time when Liang winces, going quiet. You exchange curious looks with Lux. I get the feeling this isn't about board games. I won't pry, but I will say this. Playing games with the squad is a great way to bond with them. You notice Liang's glances at Phoenix, looking almost sad. He looks at you with a smile. And why the hell not? I'll find some games to keep on hand. He and Lux head off to search, and you turn to help the next member of your squad. Some decorations. You head over to where Amelia and Declan are discussing potential decorations. I really want to make the place comfy, like someone's childhood home. Any decor would be helpful in that case. Declan, what do you suggest? Don't look at me. I grew up in a firefighting family. Pretty much my entire house looked like a fire station growing up. Yeah, but your apartment is so cozy. You have an eye for interior design. Declan flushes right, and Amelia looks like she's seen a ghost. You raise your eyebrows. So, you've been to Declan's apartment, huh? For strictly platonic reasons, I'm sure. I'll give you $1 million if you pretend you didn't hear that. Uh-huh. Because I like you so much, consider it forgotten, free of charge. But for the record, you're adorable together. I mean, together in the same room, platonically as friends. You wink. Declan and Amelia laugh nervously, but exchange sweet smiles. You feel warmer at the sight of them, so happy. I'll leave you totally not lovebirds with a little advice. Some house plants would go a long way. And if you can tie it together with a nice rug, then it'll already feel more lived in. Genius. Sometimes even the simplest touches can make a space feel more inviting. She and Declan get back to murmuring, and you survey the room. See who else needs help. You look around the room for Phoenix, but don't see any sign of him. Don't tell me he bailed. You investigate the firehouse for Phoenix's whereabouts, only to bump into him as you're walking into the engine room. Careful. You step back, noting that Phoenix's arms are laden with light bulbs that he's pulled from the supply closet. Not to knock your taste, Chief, but light bulbs are a creative decor choice. I'm not going to display them. I was just thinking, lighting in the common room is pretty sterile, and might be nice if we made the space, well, warmer. Chief, sounds like you, I've given this a lot of thought. Well, like everyone else, I've spent a lot of time in the common room. Now, something as simple as lighting can make a little difference. I know it's not the most exciting choice, but, no one ever said it needed to be exciting. It means enough that you're chipping in. It's not hard to. You hell of a way of persuading us to be team players. You and Phoenix smile at each other for a moment, almost forgetting that there's a squad full of people waiting in the other room. Thank you, by the way, for helping out with all this. There's no need to thank me. By the time I started pulling my weight with the squad's morale. I want to be the kind of chief they can turn to for advice. I don't know how I'll get there. But it feels possible, thanks to you. It's more than possible. They'll come to see you the way I do. A glimmer of mischief crosses his face, and as he steps past you, he murmurs. Well, maybe not exactly the way you do. About an hour later, it's time for the grand reveal. Yeah, it looks nicer. I can't believe it, we really pulled this off. Just look at this place. Suddenly, I can't wait to work night shifts. Oh, killer idea, Ridley. Thanks for suggesting it. Hey, don't thank me. You all did most of the hard work. The squad disperses around the room. During the fruits of their labor, Phoenix catches your eye. Nice one, Proby. Had I told you lately that you're exactly what the squad needs? Once or twice, but I'll never get tired of hearing it. You roll your eyes and laugh, and step back to admire your handiwork. It really does look different in here. Oh no, fun time. Fun's over, I guess. Time to get to work. The squad hurries to the locker room, but you pause in the doorway when you hear a siren. Then another. Then another. Just count 4, no 5 engines. You race out of the common room with Phoenix hot on your tail. Your blood goes cold when more sirens join the catacomb. Chief, it sounds like the arsonist has struck again. The sirens. We have to stop this guy. How much more chaos is he going to cause before he's caught? Phoenix surprises you by taking your hand and squeezing it. We can't think like that. Just focus on doing the best you can to help. You hold his gaze for a long moment and then nod. You're right. Let's get out there and save more lives. Alright, without further ado, thank you all for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Head down the description, plenty of things to check out, ways to support, whatnot. Without further ado, yeah, let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. Other than that, tune in for the finale of Deadliest Game today. I left a message there and thoughts at the end of that video, going into, things lately. But other than that, thanks for watching. Catch you all later. Peace.